you move over here.
It's live.
Right.
What's going on, guys? What's going on? It's Tavon Gentry here with Gentry Run, and we are here for our first live. I ain't got to be in no rush today, no short videos. We can just talk. My wife, she's shaking her head on the other end of the camera saying no. We got things to do. But yeah, we're going to talk today. We're going to talk. We're going to go through my first marathon, that whole experience. We're going to go through it.
Come here.
So yeah, my wife, she's on the other side of the camera setting up, getting ready. She got 6 questions for me and a couple little sub questions. Mayor, what's going on? What's going on, my brother? We got to link up, man. So yeah,
You ready?
I'm waiting on her.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes. Okay, so what motivated you to run your first marathon? Did you have a specific goal? Like, what were you thinking about when you signed up to run a marathon?
So why did I sign up for the marathon? What was my goal? What motivated me to sign up? I'm going to be honest with y'all. It was my wife. It was your fault. It was your fault I signed up.
Wait, what?
Was it not? Guys, okay, I'm gonna try to take it from the top. It's like back when I really got serious into running, I was more of a lone ranger. It was like pulling teeth for me to. No, let me say that. Let me rephrase that. It was like pulling teeth for everybody else to try to work out with me. Like, hey, let's go to the gym. Let's go for a run. And they trying to get me to come out. And I'm like, because I like to do things my way, solo. I'm a lone ranger. I've always been that type of person, So, doing a lot of group runs, that's not something I was really into. So when you talk about signing up for the marathon, let me stop myself. Building up into it, I've always heard about the marathon, but I never thought anything about it. So once I really got serious into running, I always said to myself, I will never run a marathon. Never. I said, whoever runs a marathon is absolutely crazy. Why put yourself through that? I can run my little 3 miles, 4 or 5 miles, and I'm done with it. I will never run a marathon. It does not make any sense. And on top of that, I was always focused on myself, my goals, and what I got going on. I don't care about no competition, signing up, running around with a bunch of people. That was not my style at all. And I not only a marathon, I said I will never join a race at all, period. Even if it's a 5K, 10K, whatever. I'm going to do me and be solo and run by myself. I might run with a friend or something every blue moon, but a marathon, absolutely no. So I remember it was my first marathon. It was in November 2022. So a couple months prior in that July, my wife said, hey, you see this ad popped up about, it's a marathon going on in the city, a couple minutes away. I think you should go for it. You know what I'm saying? You should give it a try. So I said, you know what? Maybe I'll think about it. So that's why I'm saying it's my wife's fault. She planted that seed to challenge myself. She said, it's going to be something you ain't never done before. It's going to be a big challenge. So I think you should go for it. Put yourself to the chest. You out here running all the time, running every day. Challenge yourself and see what you really can do. Sign up for this I put myself through that turmoil of running this first marathon. Do you agree?
No, I don't. I don't think it was my fault. I think I said something about it,
Yeah.
but ultimately it was your decision.
But you planted the seed. You planted that spark. Did you
I
not?
did, and you put yourself to the test.
Okay.
So I'm proud of you.
Okay. Question 1 done.
Okay.
We moving on to question number 2.
Okay. So, what did your training look like? So, any mistakes or things you did well, anything that, if you were to do it over again, anything, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Let me say this. What training? Let me say that. What training? Listen, guys. The prior year, my training was all the way messed up. You know how you think you know something, but you really don't? The prior year, I was running 5 days a week, okay? 5 days a week. And all 5 days a week was speed sessions. Every single day was a speed session. That sounds crazy. But I was getting faster and faster until it came to a certain point to where I started to get injured because I started overtraining myself. You cannot do speed work 5 days a week. That's crazy, right? So as time went on, I started to do more research. I started to link up with people who knew what they were doing. So that next year, the same year as the marathon, I made some little changes. And guess what I was doing this year, guys, in 2022? I was running 5 days a week again. One day out of the week was an easy run. Okay, we good, right? Easy run. Another day out of the week was a speed session. Okay, that's normal. Another day out of the week was a speed session. Guess what? 4 and 5. Guess what the other 2 days consisted of? 2 long runs out of the week. 1 easy run, 2 speed sessions, and 2 long runs. Not a medium-ish run, but 2 long runs. And to make things even worse, both of those long runs were moderate pace, like super moderate pace, gray zone pace. And matter of fact, that one easy run out of the week, that was gray zone pace as well, moderate pace. Because I don't know why I had this idea inside of my head that if I run anything slower than an 8:30 pace, then I'm slacking and I'm falling off. So I made sure all of my easy runs was above 8:30 pace. So that's why I said what training. I was completely thrown off. But as time went on, we got closer to the marathon. I started to learn that, okay, runners are not doing 2 long runs, like true long runs out of the week. So I dropped one of the long runs. At this point, I was running, 4 or 5 miles, and my long run was a 10-mile long run. 10 miles was my longest run of the week. So I dropped one of those 10-mile long runs. So now I only got 1 long run out of the week. Okay, we making improvements. But still, I was still running in that moderate zone. I was doing the most. I was not doing things the correct way. So when I say what training leading up to this marathon, that was my training. And the longest run I had leading up to the marathon was a 15-mile long run. And that was it. Because I had no idea on how to run a marathon. I didn't have no training plan. I was just walking into it blind. It's just one of those things where it's like, hey, I run every day. I'm running 5 days a week, right? So I'm just gonna take whatever I'm doing and just take that into the marathon. I didn't have any clue how tough the marathon was gonna be. Was it another sub question to that? What was it?
Oh, so any mistakes or things you felt like you did well?
That I did well.
Yes.
I didn't do any of it. I can tell you something else I did wrong.
You were excited when you started. You were like,
no, I don't want to skip too far ahead,
okay.
But let me tell you this. Nutrition, guys. Nutrition. So early on in the year of 2022, I started to dibble and dab into gels and powders, and that just it was like a whole nother monster. Because as a kid, and my wife, I'm sure you can attest to this as well. When we were kids, we could wake up in the morning, from the morning to nighttime, we was outside running around, playing all day.
Not me.
Whether it's basketball, football, racing with your friends from light pole to the light pole. We could do that all day as kids, drinking Coca-Colas, grape soda, orange sodas, and it didn't matter. Like we was dehydrated, but still running all day long. But now when we get older, it's like, okay, I'm trying to run a marathon. You telling me I got to take this many carbs, this much sodium. I got to do all these things just to run? Like, where does this like come into place at? And then to add on to it, okay, you got these gels and you got these powders. I was having a bad experience with it starting off. Nothing was sitting right with my stomach at all. And then as you coming into the races as well, nobody told me you had to train your stomach. So you got to train for the race physically and train your stomach to be able to take the nutrition in. Like it seemed like as when we were younger as kids, everything was so much simpler. So I finally, now let me say this: going into the race, my stomach was not fully trained out yet. I'm gonna say that it was kind of 50-50. I was on the right track, but I wasn't 100%. I didn't have 100% plan on how to properly train my stomach. Let's just go into that. Now let's just keep on going. Let's keep it rolling. Next question.
Okay. So, did you have any pre-race nerves or strategies?
I didn't have any nerves at all. Like I just knew because I was excited because I'm just outside running 5 days a week. I was like, this is what I do. It can't be that bad, right? So I didn't have no nerves at all. I was outside warming up. I knew it couldn't be that bad, and my whole thing was I'm gonna start off slow. The plan was to do about a 9-minute mile average pace for the marathon, and I was just gonna pace myself. That was my game plan. And I was gonna try to run for like I believe I said I was gonna do like a 4-hour marathon. That was my goal.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get into the race day breakdown. Okay.
All right.
I remember it was so cold outside.
It was colder than what the weather app or the news said it was gonna be. It felt way colder than that.
So how did you feel like at the beginning of the marathon? So going into it, like, how are you feeling?
I feel good. It was in our city, and we know the streets that I was running on. So it felt comfortable. I wasn't outside of my comfort zone. Everything was fine. But what threw me off at the beginning, I took off like 5 minutes after the initial start time. It's like when they blew the whistle or blew the horn saying everybody go, how you have the marathoners and the half marathoners running together. They blew the whistle and said go. And like a lot of people was like, oh, that's just the half marathon people going. We gotta wait. They ain't blew the whistle for the marathoners yet. So I'm standing there waiting. I'm just standing there with a couple people. And they like, so what are y'all doing? Y'all gonna race or y'all? I'm like, I'm running the marathon, not the half. They're like, go. We done blew the whistle for y'all already. What y'all standing there for? Go. So a lot of us started off like 5 minutes after the initial buzzer going. But I felt good. I had zero worries at all.
Okay. So how did your pacing go?
The pacing was good. When I started off, I feel like the first 15 miles, pacing was good. Pacing was good. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so how did you push through? Because I know that I was on the other side waiting on you.
I
So
said I'm gonna be done in about
and I never saw you come around that corner. So, like, how did you push through? Like, what happened? Like, walk us through.
excuse me.
Like, walk us through you being on that trail, and you're trying to get through the marathon. Like, what were you feeling? Like,
Now lead up into it. 15 miles is the longest run I have ever did. That was just solo without no plan or nothing. So running the marathon, when I got to mile 15, I said, okay, this is familiar territory. This is the longest I've ever ran before on my own. But anything past here is deep waters, So I said, okay, I just got 11 more miles to go. Trying to take it a mile at a time, at a time. And it's like my body just slowly, started to just feel a little wobbly, kind of just a little stale, But I said, I'm still going. I'm just gonna take it a mile at a time. I'm not pushing it. I'm reserved and I'm keeping calm. When I got to mile 18, I hit the wall, as they say. And when I tell you it was the first time, it was very strange. I've never felt anything like it. I've said this before in my other videos. I have lupus. And this was something, it felt worse than that at that moment. Because in my mind, I want to run. I want to keep going. But my body is like, absolutely not. My body is absolutely shutting down on me. And there's nothing I can do about it. And it's like when it happened to you, it's like, it's so frustrating. And you in pain at the same time. So that happened about mile 18. And I started running, walking. I said, okay, this 4-hour marathon is slipping. It's slipping away. Time is going on. I told my wife, hey, if you waiting on me, but she was hot. I was not there when I said I was going to. So it's slipping. And me and my wife, we run sometimes along the river, this certain part of the river. It's kind of downtown-ish. And it's a familiar area to us. And when I got to that point, I said, I don't have to finish this race. I had my cell phone with me. My AirPods died. I was in no man's land. I had nothing to motivate me, to keep me going. I said, I can just take out this phone right now, call my wife, tell her I'm at the spot that we normally run at, and she can come pick me up. But I knew, deep down, I knew if I had her do that, I wouldn't be able to live it down once I got home. If it was anything else, maybe. But this running stuff, I'm 100% serious about it, dedicated. So I unless I just fall out and collapse, I cannot pull that trigger and call my wife. I said, I'm going to push through this, muscle through it. This is the worst pain ever. Then when I got to mile 22, it started to, it didn't get better, but mentally I was like, okay, I just got 4 more to go. And the people on the side, where you got the people giving out water at the stands, they like, you got it, 4 more to go. Then it's 3 more to go, 2 more to go, 1 more to go. Then I remember at mile 25, it kind of went downhill a little bit. So I was able to kind of trot along. Mile 26, then I finally started coming around the corner. Then I heard my wife's voice cheering me on as I made it to the finish line. And I was y'all, listen to me. Look at me in my eye. I was in agony. Oh my God. It was the worst feeling I've ever felt in my life. I cannot explain it to you. But it's like when I heard my wife's voice, I was like, okay, that was it. Because a lot of times when I'm running these races, any race I've done now, since that, I'm always saying to myself, I got to make it back to my wife. I got to make it back to her. So from mile 1 to whatever it is, I don't care what happens when I'm out and about in the weeds, I got to make it back to her. When I make it back to her, it's all good. We can go get something to eat and we chilling. But that's the goal. I got to make it back. So yeah, woo.
Okay, so how did you feel afterward? Like, looking back on that specific experience, what would you do differently?
What would I do differently? I would make sure I followed a specific training plan. Make sure my nutrition is dialed in. Cause listen, guys, you're supposed to take your gels and stuff with you. I didn't take no water with me on the race. I took two gels with me, 2 gels with me for this whole marathon. Now that sounds crazy. Nowadays, I'm taking 5 gels with me. No, maybe even 6 gels with me because I'm gonna take one before I start. New nutrition, sodium electrolytes. I'm taking thousands of it. I took 0, and I actually thought I was finna. Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. What was he doing? What was I thinking about? I thought, right? Bro.
That was funny. Okay.
I would have had a plan. That's all I'm gonna say. Done more research.
Yeah, because you look pretty bad after the race.
It was straight. Epsom salt. I was laid. Listen, I am not the type of person to lay in the bed and watch TV. I do that 0% of the time, -% of the time. After that marathon, got in the Epsom salt and got in the bed and watched TV. I don't never watch TV in the bed. I'm on the couch chilling watching TV. But I had to lay back. I was in the bed watching TV. But before I did that, I stopped at Chipotle.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So thank you for sharing that experience. Is there anything that you didn't talk about today that you want to just quickly mention? Like any advice for individuals who are running their first marathon? Anything that you didn't cover? Any advice?
I got something for you.
Okay.
Fuel yourself early on. When you got your carb mixes and your carb gels, your sodium electrolytes, when you're running that marathon, don't wait till you get thirsty. If you're running a marathon 45 minutes, an hour in, you say, man, I'm thirsty. I need to take a sip. It's too late. You in for a long journey and you're going to hit that wall. When I'm running a marathon now, I'm sipping every 15 minutes, 30-minute mark, sipping, 45 minutes, sipping, hours, sipping. Not taking just big gulps. No, just because if you take big gulps of fluid in, it's going to be too heavy on your stomach, mess your stomach up. But every 15 minutes, sipping sodium electrolytes and carbs. Sip early. Get all your fuel in early. Because if you wait till you thirsty or wait till you feel like, I think I need to take some, it's too late and it's over. Your sodium, your carbs, glycogen levels is dropping. You wait till you thirsty and take something, it ain't going to activate just like that. No, it's going to take a couple minutes to come back up. But if it's going down and it's past that line, it ain't nothing that you can do. It is over. So keep fueling in before you get tired to keep yourself regulated. That's what I would say. Fuel yourself early and pace yourself. Don't go out fast because the adrenaline, the crowd cheering, everybody clapping. You're going to take off flying. No. Have a game plan. If you say you're going to take off the first mile this, second mile this, Stay with that. No matter how much everybody cheering you on to go faster, don't let the adrenaline in the moment reel you in. Stay according to the plan and fuel early. That's what I would say to you.
Nice. So what do you have coming up?
2 weeks, I'm going to Selma, Alabama. I'm a part of the Black Men Run team. We're doing the 51-mile relay race. So I'll be leg 4. I'll be in the 4th spot. I'll be running 6.5 miles. So yeah, it's a 9-man team, and we going for that dub. We ain't traveling down there for no reason. It ain't for play. We going for that dub. Gentry Run. Probably in October will be my next marathon. I'm thinking about the Long Beach Marathon. I'm thinking about it. So yeah, I will give you guys, we will be in touch, and I'll make a video giving you guys updates on what I choose for my official next marathon. But that's what I'm thinking about.
And how can people get in contact with you if they want running coaching, if they need some advice? How can they get in touch with you?
GentryRun.com. GentryRun.com. You can book a complimentary consultation with me. You want one-on-one coaching with me? GentryRun.com. Well, if you just want to talk and just have a 30-minute call, you can book that with me as well, and we can talk whatever topic that you want to talk about. We can iron it out, and I can help you out. GentryRun.com. I had a link posted. It's on all my social media platforms as well. So yeah, GentryRun.com. We can connect. We done.
Yeah. What's that?
She just gave me a abrupt ending. I ain't even know. Love you guys. Gentry Run. Be blessed.
I'm trying to get you to talk.